Hi, I'm Alyssa Nobriga, and I wanted to do a follow-up video to a recent show I did on Deepak Chopra's YouTube channel called 30 Days of Intent. And the episode that I'm speaking of is called Forgiving Yourself, and I invited Aman and Natalie, who are the main characters, to really let themselves off the hook and offer themselves compassion and forgiveness for any judgments they may have held. And I had a lot of questions come up from viewers, as well as I thought of some more things I wanted to share in my own investigation and exploration. So I thought that I'd share that here. And I think we've all had greater or lesser degrees to listening to or buying into the inner critic. And what I've discovered is that the inner critic is actually just somehow or unconsciously trying to serve us in some way. So either it's trying to protect us, maybe by judging others because we think that they'll judge us and it won't hurt as much, or it unconsciously believes by judging myself that I will motivate myself to change, or somehow it'll get its way. And so my invitation is to replace judgment with curiosity, and to discover how is judgment actually trying to serve you, and to look at it from that lens, that perspective. So for example, and I know this may sound crazy, but here's my example. So if I'm judging myself as lazy, maybe I have the unconscious belief that by judging myself, I'll motivate myself to be more productive. And so then I find and discover what that deeper intention is. And if I take it even deeper, it's like, oh, I want to be productive, so that then what? So then I feel good. Okay, so feeling good's important. And so underneath that, I want to feel good so that then I'm happy. So in that way, you've discovered the deepest intention is your happiness. And is there a way to move forward in honoring that deeper intention of happiness or peace, whatever it may be for you, without beating yourself up in the process? Is that actually more effective? Because the judgment's not bad, it's just unconscious and it's not effective. So if we can bring conscious awareness to some of these old conditioned patterns, we can be more effective in moving forward. And especially because if you get caught in judging the judge, that's actually just another layer of judgment, and there's no winning in that game. And so this is an opportunity to stand outside of that and consciously choose differently and try it on and see if it works for you. The more I work as a psychotherapist, the more I hear and feel this to be true, that we are always, always doing the best we know how, given our level of consciousness, given our life experiences, given our family dynamics, genetic makeup. And knowing from the mind is quite different than knowing from the gut and really living it. And so I invite us to just offer ourselves compassion and just for our humanity, and to give ourselves a break and see how that new way of being, maybe try it on for a week and see how that really honors what's true inside of you, and see if it's more effective. I take the example of a little child learning how to walk, and falling down is actually a part of the process of learning how to walk. And so how do you choose to be with yourself if you fall down or if you're judging? And is it actually more effective to beat yourself up if you fall, or is it more effective to be gentle, compassionate, and encouraging as you learn? So just something to consider. And I know that this can be a process of reconditioning, that it may take more diligence in the beginning to repattern this way of conditioned judgment or criticism, but it gets easier over time. I do know that. So just as a way to recap, whenever judgment comes up, this can be an opportunity to try a new way of being, and actually in that you're repatterning your consciousness. So you can bring in the curiosity with the judgment and discover what is the deepest intention of how it's trying to serve me. And as you do that, then thank the judgment for coming up to make you more aware, to give you the opportunity to repattern. And as you do that, it will let go. It softens in acceptance. And so you can also be more available to creative ways of moving forward with honoring the deeper intention of, say, happiness or peace. And I mean, ultimately, whatever is accepted is liberated. So if you are resisting or judging or pushing it away in some way, it will just get louder and stronger. And so this is an opportunity to try a new way of doing that. And if you've noticed that you've gotten, say, caught in the judgment mind a little bit too late and you're emotionally triggered, that's a beautiful time to offer yourself compassion and to practice that self-nurturance. And really let yourself off the hook. And if you want to know more about that, I'm just going to include just a small 4-step process of how to move through this and recondition this way of being, because ultimately judgments are just thoughts. They're not based in reality. There's no harm to them unless they're believed, and that can be really hurtful. And so you know, it can be as simple as noticing when the judgment comes up, to be a reminder to take a deep breath, come back to the present moment, what's really here, and don't deny or indulge in it, and just feel into what's true and that you can discover for yourself. Yeah, I hope that this has some way been insightful or helpful for you, and please feel free to share in the comment below any part of your experience or continued questions that you may have in your own exploration. I wish you well.